Good morning. It's amazing with this new computer. It's just instantaneous. I can turn on this computer and turn on the camera, and it was nothing, you know? Usually I have to wait like a half hour. That's what I'm used to. So this is just extravagant. Praise God, we're here today. I'm kind of beat up because I closed the store last night, and then I try to get up early on Monday, Wednesday, Friday to work out. So when you close the store and the store is open till 10, it's hard to wind down, and so didn't get much sleep. So I apologize in my zombified form here. But praise God, we're here. And we're going to do the best we can. We are in Job chapter 5. Eliphaz's discourse continued. This guy Eliphaz is talking about stuff. Shall mortal man be more just than God? Shall a man be more pure than his Maker? Remember, I pray thee, whoever perished being innocent, or where were the righteous cut off? So I already don't like his arguments. I mean, 17 is true, but he's saying that in an assaultive way to his friend, you know? Just because you think you're righteous, you know, maybe you're not righteous. Maybe circumstances are such that things aren't going to play out the way, you know, even if you did everything right, you still end up wrong, you know? Kind of, no. Like, for example, I was playing a game, and the character you're playing as is a doctor. He sees a guy dying. He goes and saves the guy without even asking, you know, why did you get stabbed? You know, why are you mortally wounded here? If I heal your wound, you know, why are you wounded? Turns out he's a thief and a murderer, and he kidnaps a kid. And then you gotta go after him and wipe him out because he kidnapped a kid, and you gotta save the kid and everything. But your intention, maybe it's good intentions. You think you're doing good. Everything is do good. Or do no harm. When you don't realize maybe the medicine you're using is indirectly causing a harm. A lot to think about. Thought-provoking this is. But bottom line, God is perfect, and God doesn't make mistakes. I make mistakes. I sin. I fall short. I made a mistake yesterday with a guy that I thought was going to steal from us, you know. I'm so used to people loading up carts and ramming the door that I anticipate that that's going to happen, so I try to kind of get near the door so I can snatch the cart or the basket before they run out. This guy ended up spending $129 on Easter stuff for his kids. I'm not used to that. So that was very... I'm not used to people actually paying for things. But anyway, I was trying to be correct based on what I have observed in the past, but this guy proved me wrong. So even though maybe you think you're righteous, maybe you're not. Or maybe different circumstances change how you think about a certain situation, maybe. I don't know. Just trying to brainstorm here. But 7 is clearly he is clearly mistaken in verse 7 of chapter 4. We're just kind of going through the highlights of chapter 4 before we proceed with 5, sorry. But don't you realize that? I mean, remember, I pray thee, whoever perished being innocent, or where were the righteous cut off? Pops in my head randomly. Fifth Element. Mila Jovovich. She almost dies at the end of the movie. She doesn't end up dying though, because the Fifth Element thing happens, and then she gets, it ends up being a happy ending, but she gets kind of gunned down by Gary Oldman, and you're like, but she's the hero. She's the supreme being and the supermodel. She's not supposed to get wiped out. But it says here, remember I pray thee, who ever perished being innocent. Yeah, she's innocent. But she's getting wiped out. It ends up being a happy ending, but there's probably best picture movies where a complete innocent person does perish, or where were the righteous cut off? I don't know if you work in retail, but it feels like retail workers that don't do anything wrong are always wrong, They have that phrase, the customer is always right. So we get these ladies in there that are like, that label over there said $5 off. That means you gotta give me that $5, and they don't want to read like the fine print or the date applying to the coupon or anything, they just see $5 off. You gotta give me that. And I don't know what my point is. I lost it. Oh yeah, I'm a cashier, and this lady wants me to give her $5 free off of stuff. Why do I have to deal with this? Because it's this world. The truth of verse 7 and why Eliphaz the Temanite is mistaken is this world is ruled by evil. And it's just how it is. And we have to be smart, meek as doves, gentle as doves, forgiving, merciful. I need some actual brain, Anyway, so bottom line with this is the first indicator that Eliphaz's testimony is somewhat compromised, So he's going to continue. So let's read chapter 5. Eliphaz's discourse continued. Verse 1. Call now, if there be any that will answer thee, and to which of the saints wilt thou turn? For wrath killeth the foolish man, and envy slayeth the silly one. Sometimes. For I have seen the foolish taking root, but suddenly I cursed his habitation. Oh, that's all you got to do. You just got to curse their habitation and you win? Wow, I didn't know. Verse 4. His children are far from safety, and they are crushed in the gate, neither is there any to deliver them. Whose harvest the hungry eateth up, and taketh it even out of the thorns, and the robber swalloweth up their substance. Although affliction cometh not forth of the dust, neither doth trouble spring out of the ground, yet man is born unto trouble, as the sparks fly upward. Now that's true. That's the only... Okay. 8. I would seek unto God, and unto God would I commit my cause. Clearly you're not doing that, Job. 9. Which doeth great things and unsearchable marvelous things without number, who giveth rain upon the earth, and sendeth waters upon the fields, to set up on high those that be low, that those which mourn may be exalted to safety. He disappointeth the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. He taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the froward is carried headlong. They meet with darkness in the daytime, and grope in the noonday as in the night. But he saveth the poor from the sword, from their mouth, and from the hand of the mighty. See, once again, are you seeing a pattern here? Verse 16. So the poor hath hope, and iniquity stoppeth her mouth. Behold, happy is the man whom God correcteth. Therefore despise not thou the chastening of the Almighty. For he maketh sore, and bindeth up, he woundeth, and his hands make whole. He shall deliver thee in 6 troubles, yea, in 7, there shall no evil touch thee. In famine he shall redeem thee from death, and in war from the power of the sword. Thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue, neither shalt thou be afraid of destruction when it cometh. At destruction and famine thou shalt laugh, neither shalt thou be afraid of the beasts of the earth. For thou shalt be in league with the stones of the field, and the beasts of the field shall be at peace with thee. And thou shalt know that thy tabernacle shall be in peace, and thou shalt visit thy habitation, and shalt not sin. Thou shalt know also that thy seed shall be great, and thine offspring as the grass of the earth. Thou shalt come to thy grave in a full age, like as a shock of corn cometh in his season. Lo, this, we have searched it, so it is. Hear it, and know thou it for thy good. For thy good. Okay. Be right back.